Hey guys, welcome to Nexuscast episode 9. Only one guest today, which if you're a fan of the podcast should be a familiar name. Say hi, Sabre.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, and then of course your usual host, Flarp.
Heyo.
And Motobug.
That's me.
And then myself, Tempest. So today we're going to highlight Smash and Splash 4, that just happened this past weekend. And there are personal lists of frontrunners for the PMRank 2018, so think of it as like a 0.5 edition, and then we'll close it off with a little bit of news.
All right, here we go.
Moto, why don't you say your intro that Tempest wrote down for you?
Moto's the name. Memes, Mikey. God. That's pretty good. I like it. This is a great start.
Oh yeah, this is perfect. All right, so I believe only one of us was actually at the tournament this past weekend. And
it's the one that usually doesn't go to tournaments. Who would have guessed?
Oh, turn of events.
A mix-up, dude. Bodo Mug.
So, Bodo Mug, how was it?
Yeah, tell us about that. 'Cause it looked pretty fun from where I was sitting all the way in Canada.
It was such a fun event, dude. Like, there was so much stuff going on, but also it was all condensed into, like, one main area. Because the PM setup wasn't actually that large, but that was kind of a good thing. Because there was, like, 20 to 30 setups all in, like, one small area. So you didn't have to, like, go back and forth anywhere. You just kind of went up and down the aisles. There was just so many people there that I was able to meet. Like SOJ, Ron Gunshoe, Ion, J-Fist, all these friends that I've had. And now I can finally meet. It was amazing. And of course the water park. But I didn't actually end up going to the water park. Because there was like 6 people in our room. Which I can get into that later if you guys want to hear about that. But they only give you 4 wristbands per room. And other people wanted to splash more than I wanted to smash. So they got them.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But the smashing was really fun.
That's interesting. I assumed it was like part of your venue fee, not that it was part of like your hotel cost.
Yeah, it's part of the hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was under the same assumption there.
Good to know. Well, yeah, so, I mean, Smash and Splash kind of made history. It's one of the biggest Midwest tournaments that's ever happened for PM, and is the 4th biggest PM tournament of the 3.6 era.
Is it the biggest Midwest tournament?
Yeah, probably.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Unless we're, like, forgetting something, but I
don't think so.
There's only 3 more bigger than it, so...
Yeah, I was, like, trying to decide where to go when I started that sentence. Yeah, no, it's definitely the biggest Midwest tournament for PM.
Bigger Belk, Paragon, and what else in front of it? I'm missing the number 2.
Might be Apex?
Oh, yeah, it's Apex 2014.
Oh,
that's
wow.
right.
Yeah, no, it goes back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, hype tournament, like, crazy hype.
Oh, it was so good.
Watching that live was fucking amazing.
I'm
great to watch at home also.
I'm still so mad. So if you guys were watching Smash and Splash 4, chances are you heard some commentary that was influenced by me. I was asked to provide stats to the commentary team, which I did successfully through top 32. And then I was supposed to do it on Sunday for top 8. And I wrote down the stats for winners semis and losers apes. And I said I'd do the rest when I woke up, because obviously you can't predict the outcomes of sets that you don't even know who's playing in them yet. So you have to wait until the bracket progresses. And then I woke up at 1 p.m. Pacific time in the second set of grands. But until that point, so I'm furious that I missed all of top 8. It was an amazing tournament for the rest of the days, and allegedly it's great top 8.
It was nuts. Yeah, I watched almost all of it from home.
But yeah, no, I heard it was great. There were so many crazy things that happened in bracket. Like, I don't even know. Where do you guys even want to start with talking about what happened in bracket?
I mean, I'm from Canada, so you know where I want to start.
Wrong Gunshoe.
How about, hold on, the pools upsets?
Alright.
We can start there. Start from
with
the bottom.
CP9, my dude.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
My
CP9
bro.
is a god.
That was really the only pools upset that I can think of, was CP9 took out none.
Childhood didn't make it out of round 1.
Okay, Childhood.
That was
interesting background for CP9. He also beat Bongo at LTC4, which means that his two, like, the two major upsets that come to mind now when I think of him are both Falcons.
Well, I mean, there's one more that we can get into.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
but
he plays Olimar, by the way.
Later in bracket. I mean, like, until that point, at least.
Yeah, he's a silly Olimar player.
Yeah, CP9, yeah, by the way, an Olimar player from partially New England, partially Oklahoma. I think he's been number 2 in Oklahoma pretty consistently after Flashing Fire. But yeah, so CP9, I think that's one of the only pools upsets. Round 1 pools were pretty, just because they had 64 pools, like, there was a pretty big skill gap between, like, the first seed and then everyone else.
Yeah, Formuloli didn't make it out because he was the second seed. He didn't make it out.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Ellis obviously didn't go. So
There's
he
a
didn't
few
make it
I
out
can think of. Like Gendo didn't make it out of his pool. He was the second seed.
Yeah, there was some second seeds. Like, I know, I don't know who he beat, but I know Malfever, is a Illinois Ivy who, upset someone to make it out of his pool. But, like, in terms of first seeds, I think that was the only first seed upset.
Yeah.
Right.
Captain Zach didn't make it out.
No.
He played PM.
He did.
I didn't even know he
Make it
played.
out.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, he played one of my boys from Canada. He played Zukon.
Do you know who he plays?
He plays Zelda, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
then-
cool. I had no idea.
Oh,
I
shit.
had something else. I can't remember. Let me look at
Lucky
my pool.
DQ'd.
Oh yeah, Lucky DQ'd. Obviously, Els was unable to attend as well.
Yeah, yo, can someone mute whatever that
Yeah, it was Flarp. Freak out.
is? Okay.
I think his phone rang.
Poor
Flarp.
There was some pretty good pool sets. Like, obviously I'm biased, but Titanium versus Loyal was really close.
Yeah, that went to game 3.
That
That
was
was
really
very
cool.
close. One of the ones that I remember watching. I remember 2. Both great to watch, but for completely different reasons. Tech Boy versus Ken in Black. Easily one of the
Oh, I'm so glad I got to commentate that. That was
so funny. But
that
also,
was so funny.
like, in terms of, like, a legitimately close and good set, Wombat versus Red X was actually very interesting.
Oh yeah, that was a good set.
Like, that was game 3 last stock, last hit, so highly recommend watching that.
I did better than I thought on my first stream set. That one wasn't too bad. Resolute versus me.
In terms of pure entertainment value, Dave Mon versus Super Dragon Yoshi was
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
his face. I just watched that actually.
Watch
his
the
face
player cam of Super Dragon Yoshi. He's doing Mario Kart DI, but to like another level. It's like DBZ DI. It's so funny.
Yeah,
And
Ken did that too, but even more extreme actually.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Okay.
But it was a really close set too. So it was an entertaining set both in like gameplay and in just like watching the player cams.
Yeah. Okay. And then moving on to like round 2 pools, there were some crazy upsets. Just looking through them, like literally the first 2 pools both have crazy upsets. You had Bobby Fraze over Malachi, the first seed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Slightly less crazy than it seems at first because it is a melee matchup and Bobby Fraze is a top 100 level melee player. So Fox Sheik is something that he's presumably very comfortable with, but still super impressive upset. Boiling Man lost to Arsenals, which is his second major in a row where he's lost to a Fox, but also a huge upset for Arsenals. And revenge for losing doubles to Boiling Man the day before, which I know was like a really upsetting loss for him. So really cool that he got that run back. What else went down?
Well, in that same pool, you can't see it just by looking at the list, but I watched it on stream. CP9 beats Sneeze in that pool and then takes Soth to game 3 last
Oh
stocks.
yeah, that happened as well, yeah. In a matchup that is considered terrible for Olimar.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I actually want to go and watch that because, like, I don't have a ton of Olimar experience personally, but I'm generally considered one of the better Ivies. And that matchup, like, at least from what everyone tells me, is very, very positive. So I'm curious to see what CP9 does and how Soth gets around it. But yeah, definitely want to see that. What else went down? Dirt Boy lost to Jason Waterfalls, which was...
That set was phenomenal.
I don't know if it's a huge upset, because I think that Jason Waterfalls is in general, like, really underrated right now.
Yeah, Dirt Boy, not Dirt Boy. Jason Waterfalls was playing really well that day.
He looked great.
He's just leveled up hard since the last time, like, people saw him at a national, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it?
Shout out
Select
to, I don't think he's been to it. Oh, no, he did go to Flex Zone, you're right.
He went to We Tech Those and Flex Zone, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's been a few months since those.
Yeah, oh no, he definitely was looking much, much more comfortable in game, and his punish game, some of the stuff he got on Dirt Boy, it was like, oh my goodness. I can't believe any of those moves hit all in a row, and then his stock just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. He's been leveling up in region, like, consistently beating Aeon. He's, like, pretty solidly, I would say, 4th in SoCal right now after Riverside, which is obviously very impressive.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's good. He beat Bagels, like, last week.
Right.
We also had today's over Morse code, which was, like, a really...
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really... I wasn't that surprised by it because, like, I talked to today's a lot. I know he's in contention for... He's one of those people who's, like, maybe the 3rd best Ivy. It's between a few of us, but, like, he's ranked in Houston, has wins on Fearless. Morse code was his first out-of-region PMRank win and his first PMRank win at a non-local. But I'm super proud of him making top 32 and taking out Morse. So we had that go down. Impressive. We had... That's all for round 2, I think.
I mean, there was some other exciting sets like I'd recommend watching. Like Blitz versus Junebug was great, and especially if you saw how that ended.
Okay.
That I'll let that be a surprise. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some other little upsets I noticed being a Toon Link player, Jahaira. I hope I said that right. He got I
don't
believe
know how to say it either.
33rd. He beat
he got 33rd.
Dumb Shiny, and he ran it really close with Aeon, I think, or he beat he didn't beat Aeon.
Jahaira, game 3 with Aeon, beat Solarith. I still can't say that guy's tag. Beat Dumb Shiny, lost to Moist, so got 33rd.
Yeah, and then
not a bad
up
run.
Until
also they made top 8 in doubles, which was really impressive.
Oh yeah. Him and Ellipsis did really well. Unfortunately, Ellipsis didn't do so well in singles. I saw him post about that on Facebook.
Yeah, there were a couple people in round 2 that just did not perform as well as they should have.
Blitz was definitely disappointed. He lost to Ripple after almost beating Junebug, so...
Yeah.
Connor got like 97th, and I felt really sad.
Oh, yeah, Connor, but they tied,
Well, both of them did, yeah, in the same pool, too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Red X beat Nave. I actually didn't even notice
Yeah,
that.
Nave underperformed.
Yeah, Nave super underperformed. I saw him lose to all his losses. I was like, oh, you lost. I think he lost to Jahaira as well.
IM is losing to, let me see, Nave lost to, Jahaira 2-0, and then Red X 2-1.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Oh, speaking of upsets, we completely forgot to mention Frost beating Hungrybox.
Oh yeah, that didn't come up on my radar because HBox ended up winning the run back. I think he played Mario instead of Puff.
Yeah, he did.
Nonetheless, Frost beating HBox. HBox was, I think, double eliminated by the PK kids.
He got 3-0'd by Resliv.
Yep, lost to Resliv and Losers going, I think, DDD actually after he lost with Puff. Oh no, he played Mario, not DDD. He hasn't played DDD in a long time. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like a brawl thing. But yeah, so that happened, which was sick. All of top 32 is like seriously, I can't recommend enough going back and watching top 32. Like I'm looking at the bracket and I'm just remembering all the sets, and like Lord Kais was amazing, June Hyper was amazing, Lunchable South was amazing, Losers was all fantastic. Everything with Ron Gunshoe was fantastic because I'm a fanboy.
Speaking of which, I just wanted to go back to round 2 quickly.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the clinic Ron Gunshoe puts on against Aeon. It is...
Yeah.
He destroyed
It's
Aeon.
a work of art. It was fantastic.
He was so good versus Sonic.
And they're good friends
so
too,
good.
which was nice to see. So when they sat down and everything. And then one more comment. Casino Wolf actually didn't make top 32, and I know he had a bit of high expectations on him to do well at this tournament. So I can't remember who he lost to.
But he lost to Wild and Losers.
Yeah.
He lost to Frost
Who
in
lost to
winners.
winners?
Frost.
Right. Yeah. See, Frost kind of went on a tear and then still didn't make top 32,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, basically what happened is, like, in that little branch of winners, Frost 2-0 to HBox and then 2-0 to Casino, and then lost to Bacon Pancakes and HBox in the run back. But what ended up happening is that neither Frost or Casino Wolf made it out of round 2 pools.
Yeah. Some of the pool stuff was really weird. There was
yeah.
some weird double Jeopardy stuff going on.
Yeah,
Well, more from like round 1 to round 2, because I know I got affected by that, but I don't know who else did.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to me being Dusty and getting 33rd. Just saying, it was. I'm pretty proud of how I did.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't about me. This is about other people that are better than me.
Yes. Yeah, no, top 30, I mean, the whole tournament was, like, fantastic. Easily, like, Smash and Splash has a reputation to live up to, and as always, they put on a show. The stream was great, the sets were great, this was one of the most stacked PM tournaments we're gonna see all year, and, like, we got to see matchups that we've never... One of the things that really hit me when I was doing, my stats for the commentators is I was writing out, like, oh, have we seen this before? And there were so many sets where I was sitting there and I was like, we've never seen this before. We've never seen J-Fist versus, actually we had seen J-Fist versus Kais, I got corrected on that. But, like, there were so many matchups, like J-Fist Rongunshu,
Rongunshu, anyone, really.
yeah, Rongunshu versus an awful lot of people, Fearless JJK, South versus Arsenals, Hyperflame versus J-Falls, like, there were so many matchups that we had never seen before, and we had no idea how they were going to play out. And that makes it really exciting. Like, even if you click through the top 8, we had never seen Rongunshu versus Junebug. We'd only seen South versus Techboy once. Never seen Switch Rongunshu. We hadn't seen Switch Hyperflame in a ridiculously long time. Hadn't seen Hyperflame versus Lunchables since, like, 2016. Like, there was...
We haven't seen Switch those ever, Kappa.
Poor
Sos. Poor Sos.
Literally, the Ivy Discord, that set, like, broke the Ivy Discord. They're all talking about secondaries now. Which, to be fair, when your character's best player is down 12-0, it's a rough look. Like, I get the frustration. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I can complain about my character on any one of the multiple opportunities I have to do that. But yeah, so, I mean, top 32 was great. Top 8.
Rongunshu.
Another cool stat, actually, about top 32 that I was looking at when day 2 started was only, I think, 3 or 4 players. I believe it was 3 players. Only 3 players hadn't dropped a game yet.
Yeah, only 3. It was
every other player had dropped at least one game up until top 32.
I know Rongunshu was one of them. I don't know who the other 2 were.
Kais and I believe Tech Boy was the third.
That's not surprising. Okay. Yeah.
And then Lunchables, of course, dropped that game to Moist, which looked pretty bad, but then he switched characters and then that was a rinse.
It was over.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens with Lunchables. It's like even a set with South, which went to game 5. Like, if you look at it, it was like he lost game 1 with Tink, should have won game 2 with Roy, and, like, he got put to sleep by a seed bomb because he messed up the edge guard, and then just reverse 3-0'd him. So it's like, really, like, he just kind of does that. Once he figures out who he wants to play and how, he just adapts like crazy.
Yeah, that set against South was nuts, because, like, I actually forgot about the first 2 games later in the day.
Because it seemed like it was a 3-0. It was dominant. Sorry, South. But yeah, no, like, it was brutal, because once he figured it out, it didn't matter that he was down 2 games. He's just that good once he figures out what he wants to do. I was also surprised there was no Marth, but, you know, worked for him, so more power to him.
Yeah, he's bringing out the Roy again.
Yeah, I expected... I mean, I talked about it in the Ivy Discord. I got hella shit, because I said Tink was going to be the last of the 3 characters he played, and sure enough, game 1 was Tink. But I definitely was not... I didn't expect that combination of characters, but...
Yeah, he didn't play Sonic at all in anywhere past round 1.
Goodness.
Oh, I mean, that's not that surprising. Like, if
I mean, I thought he was going to try it a little bit more. I always saw, like, one match with it at all.
I figured the Sonic would be, like, if he's down 0-2 and he's getting desperate.
Maybe.
Like, South would have actually been a time I wouldn't have been surprised, because South is, like, not good against Sonic, and also it's a good matchup, but I'm glad he like felt comfortable and recognized that like game 2 could have been easily his.
Yeah, I thought he just wanted more experience with it, but I guess not. I don't know.
I mean, I think he wanted to win.
Oh yeah, that too. But like earlier matches.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm trying it.
Yeah, I'm surprised in pools we didn't see it more, but oh well.
I'm not complaining. I saw the Toon Link, and as a Toon Link main, I rarely get to see that.
Yeah. We're biased towards his different characters.
Yep.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely like, I want to see the Marth because I love Marth.
Yeah, Marth is super cool.
Flarp wants to see his Luigi, of course.
Nobody wants to see the Luigi.
I hate random top players' secondary Luigi because they're all better than mine.
Aww. I feel that way about Sonic too, don't worry.
That's depressing but true. I definitely, every time I play a top
super
player,
easy to just randomly pick up because his combos are really simple and he just flies around everywhere.
Yeah, and like all top players have good movement, so. Yeah, and then
we're going to talk about Rangunchu.
Well, first of all, we got to talk about Malachi getting 9.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a couple of things I want to talk about top 32, which is like, I want to talk about Kala, I want to talk about Rangunchu, and I want to talk about Bob. Bob had a rough day. He lost to Bobby Frizz with Sheik.
Yep.
Then beat O'Reilly in Sheik Falcon. Beat Jason Waterfalls, who I don't know if he's played before. Played Kala off stream. And that was surprisingly close. I want to talk about Kala in just a second, because that's a name that I think a lot of people were probably surprised to see in top 16 of such a big tournament. But that was crazy close. I was watching the most bootleg stream I've ever watched, from, I think it was Moto. You were streaming that, right? Yeah. So Moto was streaming it from, I think, his phone. And it was, he won, I think, game 1. And it was super close, and he switched. And it ended up being 3-1, but like last stock 3-1 against the Sheik in a matchup that, Soth, it was actually the opposite of what we saw with Soth against Malachi, where he beat the Sheik convincingly, and then Bob switched to Peach, and Soth didn't have an answer. Kala made him switch off of Peach to Sheik, which I think is a really interesting dynamic, because what it implies, which I've kind of thought for a while now, is that neither of those characters beat Ivy super solidly. It's about Bob's playstyle with those characters. And I think that because Kala and Soth have such different styles, that's why we saw the two different characters being effective. But I think that's a really cool dynamic. But yeah, so he beats Kala 3-1, gets to Tech Boy, who he double eliminated it back in the Midwest in late 2017. They haven't played since. He's also, Malachi has a brutal record against Fresh. He's lost one set ever, and they play at locals on like a regular basis, or did when New York had locals. Rest in peace. New York's in a bad spot right now, but that's a different story. But like when they played, he was dominant over Fresh. And he destroyed Tech Boy when they played in the Midwest. Tech Boy 3-0'd him. And like it wasn't close.
Yeah. It was crazy how well he played that matchup.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, like, I tweeted about this, but it was very reminiscent of watching Tech Boy versus Thunders in 2017, where that was one of the most brutal sets I've ever watched. He's 6-1 to the best player in the world, and he made it look easy. And, like, when he did it to Thunders, I was like, okay, it's a fatty character, like, Thunders probably doesn't know the matchup, you know, maybe Tech Boy just playing well that day. It's different when he does it to someone in what is considered one of the worst matchups that your character has, and not one game, not just PM where the meta is like still new, but a matchup that's been fleshed out over the last decade and a half as being awful. And he made it look easy.
It was crazy.
He was doing some stuff I never seen before.
I mean, if
that's also something.
He pulled out a lot of new stuff.
He did things that Wisely and Serbian Film have never seen before, and they talked about this. They said not only was he doing things that they didn't know were possible, all the things he does, he's not in the IC's Discord. He doesn't talk to them, he doesn't learn from them. They watch him do things and try to figure out how he did it. This kid is a prodigy. Like he's
insane.
He's recreated a character, like he's basically everything he's done, he's reinvented the wheel. He's not learning from like Fresh or like these other ICs. He's creating it. And he's creating things that they didn't even know was possible, and that they still don't know how he's doing it. That's how good he is.
He's only 10 years old.
He's only 10. He just celebrated his 10th birthday this weekend.
He's Wizzy. He just gets younger over time.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then, so there was Tech Boy, Malachi. I also want to talk a little bit about Kala, and then we'll get to, I think, the topic that all of us want to get to, which is Ranganshu. Yeah. So Kala, a little bit of background. He's a Florida player. He's never really traveled out of region. He's been well ranked in his region, but you never really know how good people are from in-region results. And when you watch him, kind of like the Borp of PM, he still doesn't ledge dash. I think if he can wave dash, he only learned how to do so pretty recently. Yeah. He can?
Yes, he can. I've seen him do it.
Okay, so he can wave dash now. But very not technical. And Ivy's not a technical character. I'm not going to act like she is if you don't play her like me and destroy your hands. But it's still impressive to be good without tech skill. And he's probably number 1 in Florida right now. He's positive on J-Fist, positive on Nogrilla. Else doesn't go to things, so he's probably number 1 in Florida. Almost beat Kais twice at
House of Elves.
House of Elves. I was missing the name. This was his first big out of region tournament. And he did great. He went through. His pools were pretty standard, lost to Kais again, and then reversed 3-0 Sneeze, who does have IV practice, has played Mock, has beaten Mock, has beaten me.
Speaking of that set, actually, someone reported it wrong, and I caught it. It said 5-0 Kala for about half an hour.
Oh, yes. Yes, it did.
He beat him so bad. Beat him, it wasn't 3-2, it was 3+2.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so beat Watch and Learn, who's, despite being unranked, it's very strong and from the New York region. If he was anywhere else, he'd be ranked, let's be honest. And then got 13th to Malachi. So had Malachi not been knocked into losers by just misfortune and ended up in his part of bracket, he could very plausibly have gotten 9th or better at the 4th biggest major of all time at his first major. So I just want to recognize that, I know there were a lot of people who were who's this guy? How did he get this far? The kid's nuts. Sophie's not the only Ivy he's doing well. Kala will also be at even bigger bulk, which you should all be registering for if you haven't already. You can see him do more work. I'm really excited to see what he can do.
He's nuts.
Yeah, he's nuts. Want to see what they can do. Speaking of nuts, let's talk about Canada's favorite player.
Brad.
Yeah, everyone's favorite player, really. I think at least 3 of the 4 people on this podcast, he's their favorite player.
Yeah. Come on, Flarp.
Yeah, he's pretty up there.
He's one of my boys, so.
He's only up there for Flarp because Flarp beat him, so every time Brad does something good, it makes him look great.
Flarp gets a little bit happier.
Every time Ranganshu does something amazing, you just raising my stock higher.
Yeah, he reset on Tech Boy at Frozen Phoenix, and you're sick. I have a Tech Boy number of 2 right now. I'm great. But yeah, so Ranganshu, for those who weren't paying attention to Frozen Phoenix 2018, he did fantastic there, placed 2nd, reset on Tech Boy. Came to this, and it was kind of a question of we've seen him play, we know that he's sick, we know that he can put up great results. Can he do it again, and can he do it in a much scarier environment? There's a lot more pressure, there's a lot more good players than there were at Frozen Phoenix. And that didn't stop him. He went down to Lunchables and winners round 1 of top 32, and 3-0 Dirt Boy, 3-1 Loyal, took out J-Fist in a close Game 5 set for top 8. Let me rephrase, the set was close, the Game 5 was actually not at all.
Yeah.
But the set was close. And that, actually, the J-Fist set was really impressive because we know that J-Fist knows the Marth matchup from playing Jags on a regular basis. And, this was for top 8.
Well, it's not that regular because...
it's not
Jags
that.
is North Florida.
Yeah, they're different regions of Florida, but they do have a solid set record. They've played a fair bit.
Yeah.
But this was for top 8 at the biggest major he's ever attended, and Ranganshu clutched it out, makes it to top 8. 3-0 Junebug, and the take switched to Game 5.
I'm so mad about Game 5, but I'm also not because I love Brad. He went for his Roncopter thing,
Roncopter,
and then went down 3 stocks to 1 after because he missed. And
Yeah.
I'm certain he would have won if he had not tried to look even sicker than he already was that
Or
entire
if he hit
tournament.
it. Or if he hit it.
If he hit it,
If
yeah.
he hit the wrong capture, it was over for Switch.
Yeah. But yeah,
It was
so he
over.
went down, but still though, he took Switch to game 5.
He only lost to first and second at the tournament, so
He only
Yeah.
lost to first and
It's very
second.
impressive.
After beating him, Switch went on to 3-0 South and Hyperflame back-to-back, and then reset on Lunchables 3-1. Like, Switch was on a rampage,
Yeah, he was nuts.
and Ranganshu took him to game 5. So, like, absolutely, for someone who has such little national exposure, although, again, he's someone who will be going to even bigger bulk, he's really proving that he's in that top echelon of player. Like, you don't Also, I want to point this out, Junebug has literally never lost to a Lucario. He has never lost to iPunch Kids. He has never lost to Fearless. He got 3-0.
And he got 3-0'd. Yeah.
We're seeing a changing of the guard in Project M, and, like, Ranganshu is really one of the people who's at the forefront of that. So that's really cool to see.
He's so good. I played him this weekend. He is so good.
He's so good. He's like, it's one of those things where I enjoy watching a lot of people. You have to when you make combo videos, but like, I haven't really wanted to make combo videos for people for a long time because like I just got bored of it. I watch him play, and it's what Smash should be. Like the movement, you can see him thinking as he plays, and it's incredible. I told him he's my single favorite person to watch in PM right now, and that's saying a lot for how much Smash I watch and like how many players I'm friends with. Like, I will watch him over anyone. He's fantastic.
I just want to shout out Canada. Got 2 of them in top 12 at this tournament, the 4th largest tournament of all time.
Yeah, Canada has been stepping up a lot. It used to be, I remember there was a time in 2016 when it was like, oh, Ally stopped playing. Like, I guess Canada's done. And then we heard people were like, oh no, Solarius is good. And Solarius didn't really go to anything and like still hasn't really. But the rest of Canada has stepped up. Mork stepped up, Ranganshu has stepped up, JJK has stepped up.
We're waiting on Blitz.
Blitz, I absolutely have faith, will step up. He already has to some extent, but like, I absolutely believe that he has more potential than we've seen yet from him, and I'm excited to see that come out.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty proud of all the other guys that went out. Like, obviously they didn't do as well. Like, Titanium had his set with Loyal, and then Zukon and Marco64 were there. So, looking good for Canada, but like Ranganshu and JJK are kind of spearheading it, and Ranganshu obviously the most right now because he's just been on a tear ever since Frozen Phoenix.
Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely, I mean, huge props to anyone who comes, like, who travels for Smash. Because, like, I obviously put in a lot of time for Smash, but I never have and probably never will travel out of state. There are people who, like, everyone from Canada came from a different country. There are people who come to tournaments regularly from Europe. We have people coming to even bigger bout from Japan, from, like, across the US. And there are people who are willing to do that even though they don't think they have any chance of making money. Like, they're not all top players. They're people who are going across the country to go to because they love the game and the community and want to be a part of it. And so shout out to those people. Like, that's what keeps the community alive. And that's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
So having said all that, do you guys want to move on to our next topic?
Well, did you just want to mention Lunchables finally winning something?
Oh,
that's probably important.
I literally had that. I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that, and I forgot. Yeah, so Lunchables won. Good job, Lunchables.
Woohoo.
For those of you who are like newer to the PM scene, which I know a lot of our audience is, Lunchables, I'm sure you're all aware, was a top player in 2016, but he kind of had a curse where like he couldn't win a major. The biggest thing he ever won was
No Sleep or something?
No, it was Arlo 3.
That's what it was.
Which he didn't classify at the time as a major. It was like either Super Bit Wars, where like his main win there was Muta King, which was like his first big win, or Arlo 3, where he beat Junebug and I think Malachi. Yeah. Wait, I think he won that. I'm not actually 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
I think his first big tournament one was Super Bit Wars 4.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was this. So it depends on what you classify as big, but like by his standards, even Arlo 3 which had Malachi and Jubug in attendance and Hyperflame wasn't enough. Like he wanted something where everyone was there. And that's never happened for him. And I know that's something that was really upsetting for him, and he retired, and like he never really felt like he accomplished that goal. And so he's been getting back into the swing of things, like, one, Don't Sleep 2 he won No Fun Allowed 2 this year over Switch. But like, this is a different scale. This is one of the biggest PM majors in history. This had every single player except for Sosa in attendance. Like literally almost every single like notable player. Oh yeah, Fuzz, DVD. I take back the literally part, but like,
yeah,
it was a crazy stacked bracket, and like, I would have loved to see Malachi make it back to him. I would have loved to see him go up against some of the people who, went to losers and didn't play him, but he had by no means had an easy bracket. Went through South, went through Rangunshu, went through Switch twice, including getting through a reset and then clutching out a Game 5. Went through Hyperflame at the first tournament where Hyperflame has been in form in 2018. And you could see just the emotion when he won that. And so congratulations to him. This has been something he's wanted for years. And I think regardless of who you wanted to win that Grand Finals, you can't be upset that someone who's given so much to PM and for whom this is such a big part of their life finally gets to fulfill that goal. So congratulations.
Yeah, when he won, it was super emotional. Like when everyone rallied on stage, like everyone on stage was crying, and I almost cried, even though I don't know him that much. But it was emotional.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was something where, like, Switch has won big tournaments before. He won Smash and Splash 3. Like if he won, it was like great. Like
he just won a monthly like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like Switch is I consider him a friend. He's a great dude, but like, for Lunchables, this was something special. Especially because, realistically, I think the closest he ever came to winning a major was Smash and Splash 2, where he was in winner's side of Grands, and LZ came back from losers, and I'm sure that for him, when Switch reset this bracket, he remembered that, and he remembered, like, how much that hurt, that, like, he was so close, and I always, like, reset on him, brought it to Game 5, and won. And he brought it to Game 5 again, and this time he beat Switch. So I'm sure for him that was something that was really special.
Oh yeah, but aside from all the emotions, he managed to keep it in classic Lunchables fashion, and there was a few memes thrown into all
there were
the tags were freaking Despacito.
Oh yeah, no, the first words, he was like sobbing on the stage, and some of the camera came up to him, and they're like, "What do you want to say?" And he said his first word was like Despacito. So, yeah, I mean, he's Lunchables, he's gonna meme, that's what he does. But nonetheless, like, it was just there were a ton of great storylines at Smash and Flash. It was a good tournament all around.
It was great. I loved it.
Fueled by taco stats. I had to.
Yeah.
I did actually really enjoy doing that. A different story. Yeah, so having, I don't know how I forgot to talk about that, but yeah, so having talked about that, do you guys want to move on to rankings?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sounds good to me.
As you all know, we being the PMRank team, which is only one of the people on the podcast, and actually technically none of them now, but there's a group that puts together a top 50 ranking every year for PM, known as PMRank. It recently came out in January for 2017. And so given that it's been about 6 months, we thought it would be, especially given that I'm one of the people who helps put that together, and who tracks all the data and all that, we thought we'd talk a little bit about halfway through the year what rankings are looking like, because things have changed a lot. And it's hard to know. We still have the Summer of Smash coming up, which means that there's going to be a lot of results that will change things. There are a lot of players right now who are just question marks, and we'll know where they stand one way or another after all the summer goes down. But we can start to make some predictions about where players are going to end up at the end of the year. So I think we all have lists.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah, I have it about a top 25-6, and then I have some HMs kind of.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'll work.
Yeah, so after, one of the things I want to note before we get into it is that I think all all of us have the same top 9 in some order.
Probably.
Where it really gets iffy is after the top 9. I actually think we might all have them in the same order, honestly.
Do we? We actually might.
I haven't really ordered mine, but...
No, Flarp and I switched for the DVD.
Right.
Freaking Flarp.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
God.
Very close to the same order. So let's do that first because it's very close, or like very kind of standard, and then we can discuss everything else. So for all of us right now, Sosa's number 1. It's pretty clear. Like he's had set losses, but they're not common. His worst records are like even with he traded sets with Lunchables, and like I think he's positive on Malachi, but he's lost a couple sets, and that's it. He's been beating everyone like convincingly. He's won the majority of things. Like he's just been very solid. And then I think, I mean, Moto has different. Flarp and I both have Malachi at second, which I think is a pretty standard pick as well.
I don't.
Wait.
Let's go Tempest.
Oh,
you have Lunch second?
I have Lunchables second.
Well, yeah, Tempest, you need
Yeah.
to post your list somewhere, because like we can't see
You
yours.
should
Oh
Posted
yeah,
it.
that's right.
That would help.
Do we?
Okay, so 2 for 2 on second right now. I'll make the argument. I'll try to give the argument for both sides, I guess, because I know a lot of the data. Lunchables obviously just won one of the biggest tournaments of the year. It's so far the biggest tournament of the year. Also does have pretty strong results outside of that. One, no fun allowed 2 over Switch. So his record on Switch is actually, I want to say 4-1 this year. 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. So pretty dominant on Switch. Even on Sosa 1-1, which is very impressive, because like I said, we all have Sosa at number 1. He's 0-1 on Malachi, but that's only one set. And we haven't seen him against BPD, but he's also, he's 2 or 3-0 on Fuzz right now. So undefeated against Fuzz.
Sorry, so I was just uploading. Who are we talking about? I kind of tuned out a little bit.
Lunchables.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So my number 2. Yep.
So I was explaining why there's an argument for Lunchables at number 2, even though he's been much less active. On the other hand, Malachi obviously has been going to like everything, doing quite well at everything. Realistically,
I actually don't have him in my top 3.
Yeah, your list is kind of wacky.
It's not ordered.
what the hell is
It's not
your list?
ordered. Like he's not 6th, but I don't think he's top 3 because of Switch has just been doing slightly better than him. Malachi got 5th and 9th at the last 2 things he's been to, and Switch has been getting top 3 at every single event he's gone to. And I was looking at like Malachi's wins at the events he did worse at, and
I think if you wait, so go ahead.
I don't know. I just think Switch has a bit more quality to his results than Malachi, so I have Malachi as like 4th instead of 3rd.
Okay, so here's why. So we've obviously heard the argument for Lunchables. Let me make the argument for Malachi, which then also will play into Switch, because right now the argument, or like the conversation right now is Malachi versus Switch, and then whether you think those players go above Lunchables, like you can decide for yourselves. Malachi recently has been doing less well, undeniably. There was a period where he was like the number 1 player, after Thunder's quit, and then it's very clear that like that isn't certainly not undeniably the case, but like probably not the case at all. He lost We Tech those to Switch, but overall his head-to-heads are actually still quite good. He's the closest person to being positive on Sosa, who's played him at more than 1 tournament, because Lunchables trading sets is valuable, but it's still only 1 tournament's worth of data. Switch is heavily negative on Sosa, whereas Malachi is like pretty close to even. Malachi is also very heavily positive on both Switch and everyone below him. He's lost to Fuzz for the first time recently, but Switch has also lost to Fuzz. And then he's never lost... oh no, actually I'll take that back, because he's also lost to Kais twice this year. But otherwise been like generally quite dominant over the rest of the cast, or like the rest of the people we're going to be talking about. Switch has been really consistent too. I'm not going to act like he hasn't been. So there is an argument. I don't think there was an argument until very recently, because definitely like him getting 9th at Smash and Splash hurts. He lost to Tech Boy, which is not a matchup anyone ever expected him to lose. He lost to Bobby Frizz, which was just like out of the blue. He's 0-2 to Kais in 2018, which is not a good look. Like, he's definitely, from where he was at the beginning of the year, where he was, the question was just who's going to be number one, him or Sosa. He's definitely declined, while Sosa's like remained consistent. So the question now is just like, how much has he declined? So there is an argument for him as low as 4.
Yeah, I might actually put Switch over Malachi, hearing all this now. But it's definitely close.
Yeah, it's not like there's this giant gap. Like, my decision basically came down to, all right, well, Switch has pretty much the same, like, placing relatively at every event he's been to. It's always, like, at least at the majors, he's always in the top 3, pretty sure.
Yeah,
so
he's, like, right below winning.
Yeah, Switch has been
winning.
Switch has
he's
been
won
highly
or
consistent.
almost won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see that. And like, that's one of the things that always comes up in rankings is like, what do you know, how much do you care about like head-to-heads and like peak versus like, they always get there. They always get to the same spot in bracket. And like, Switch is really good at that. Like he is, in 2018, he has been a brick wall for people below. He has not lost to South. He has not lost to Kais. He has not lost to Tech Boy. He has not lost to Aiden or Hyperflame. Like, he is not. Let me see who else is in. Because I'm looking at your list. Let me see who else is below him on my list. Yeah, he hasn't lost to like anyone outside of S tier. Because my S tier right now is the top 6. It's Sosa, Lunchables, Malachi, Switch, Fuzz, and DVD in some order.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's Sosa. It's like Sosa, and then there's like Lunchables, Malachi, Switch in some order depending on what you value. And then there's Fuzz and DVD.
Yep.
Also some order. Just to go into that real fast.
I think I give it to Fuzz.
Fuzz and DVD is interesting because DVD is like crazy consistent. Like he has never, since June of 2017, and I know this only because like it's super impressive, he has lost to like 5 players ever. He's lost once to Kais, lost once to Sosa, and then he just loses to Thunders, Switch, and Malachi at everything. But like, if they don't beat him in bracket, nobody beats him.
Did he lose to NB at
let me
PM Showdown?
Let me add a qualifier to that. He only loses when he plays Tink. He played Marth at Showdown for reasons I don't understand.
Oh, right.
But yeah, he lost. He traded, but he still traded sets with Marth. But you're right, he did lose there. But when he plays Tink, which is like what I would rank on, he's incredibly consistent. Fuzz is a bit less consistent, but also has higher peaks. Like, he's proven capable of beating Switch and Malachi, which DVD has never beaten either of those players, ever.
He's gotten close.
Sad boys. That's those matchups. Ugh.
Yeah, he's come really close. Like, he can do it, but in terms of rankings, like, Fuzz clearly has the higher peak for his ability to actually win those. But I think those two you can really decide who's 5 and who's 6 interchangeably depending on what you value.
I don't know.
I have Fuzz over
has,
DVD,
like,
but
a bunch of wins on Switch in Malachi or whatever now. So
he has wins on Malachi, but he's still, I want to say even if not negative, and he's negative on Switch in 2018.
Is he? What's the set count? I just know he has at least 2 wins. I don't know how many losses though.
No, he doesn't have 2 wins in 2018.
Does he not? Who did he beat twice at a tournament?
He's beaten a lot of people twice at tournaments.
Oh, sorry. Did he at like the same tournament?
I think he didn't double eliminate Bob because the day he beat Bob lost to Kais and Losers. I don't know who he double eliminated.
I could have sworn he double eliminated one person.
I'm pretty sure he has double eliminated Switch, but I don't think it's happened in 2018.
I think it did. Wasn't that the Flex Zone he did that?
Here, I'm looking. I have the Flex Zone bracket up.
Yeah, pull it up.
I could have sworn.
I could be wrong. It's been known to happen.
He did. Yes, he beat Switch in winners and losers.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
He has at least 2. He's probably even or -1 then, because I know Switch has also beaten him at least twice, if not more.
Yeah, so that was why I had him above DVD. Basically that.
Yeah, I have him above as well. I think that even though DVD's consistency is super impressive, he's even on Sosa, which is also impressive, but we know that Fuzz can also beat Sosa. And the demonstrated ability to beat Lunchables in Switch, not just like the potential, is really important. So I have him at 5 as well. And then let me rephrase about because I need to switch to a different tab to see Tempests, but
mine's not too ordered though.
Okay, myself, Moto, and Flarp all have 7 through 9 in the same order, which is South, Kais, and then Techboy.
I have those the same. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty standard. Like, South has been crazy consistent in 2018. He hasn't beaten anyone above him, but he's come close, and he's 2-0 on Kais, 1-0 on Techboy. He has had some iffy losses outside of that tier, by which I mean, like, specifically the local before we tech those, where he lost to Ivane and Kunai.
Let's go Kunai.
Okay.
Which is, like, not a great look, but overall he's been super consistent. He's, like, very clearly the gatekeeper right now for, like, if you think you're able to beat the people above him, like, play him, and, like, if you're not on that level, he will mess you up. And then Kais has been really good. Kais is 2-0 on Malachi in 2018, which is fantastic. Recently beat Switch for the first time ever.
I think I watched that.
Yeah, it happened. You were there for that. Wait, depending on who said it, 2 of the 3 of you were in the room when that happened.
I am from Canada, so I was not there.
Oh, I'm not good at recognizing voices.
I was watching it on the projector and saw Switch SD's last dock away.
Yeah, that also happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you took a wrong guess, Sabre. It was Tempest.
I had a 2 out of 3 chance, okay? Cut me some slack.
That's true.
But yeah, so, like, I mean, Kai's very good. Techboy, still godlike. Maybe goes up a little bit after beating Malachi, but, like, he's been a little bit less consistent this year. Just in terms of, like, you know, he had a 2-0 record on Switch in 2017. It's now 0-3 in 2018. Dropped a set to Ranganshu, which is not bad, but, like, for someone in his tier, it's not good. And doesn't really have any wins above him, which hurts. Like, he's like South, he's been beating everyone below him more or less, with a few exceptions. Like, he's lost to Envy twice. He's lost to Dirt Boy, but, like, more or less he's been pretty consistent. Actually lost to Envy at the same local where South lost to Kunai. So I feel like we should just write that local off for everyone.
That was a weird local.
Yeah, I feel like everyone just sucks except for Ivane. Ivane's a god. If we rank based on that local, Ivane is the best player in the world.
Wow. I wonder who's on the West Coast out of us.
Yo, I'm just saying facts. Actually, technically, Envy's the best player in the world if we go based on that. But Ivan is second. But yeah, so that's the top 9. Like, we're all pretty much on the same boat, with that.
Now it's
where it gets completely messed up.
Something I want to point out that I think is kind of cool is that PMRank 2017 was also in the same boat where there was, like, a very clear top 9, and then 10 was, like, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
But it's not the same group of people. Kais has moved up. Lunchables has joined again. The top 9. Yeah.
Thunders is gone.
Yeah, Thunder's
obviously
retired. Hyperflame fell off. Switch became inactive for, like, 6 months. So, like, we have 3 people who are right now not in that tier, although I think Flip in particular definitely could be if he continues to go to things. Recently placed second at the revival of Smashing Grounds over Kais. But for right now, there are 3 people who were in that tier just 6 months ago and aren't now, and there are 3 new people who have moved up. So we're seeing a pretty big shift in the meta, like, just in 6 months.
Yeah, it's really cool. But now we get into
number 10.
Yeah,
number 10.
Number 10 could be a lot of people.
I have Aiden.
Personally, I think it's Ranganshu.
I was just going to say, I don't think it's him now.
It's not
but
yet.
I could see it.
Yeah, it's one of those things
which is really
where, like,
crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that, like, someone could come out of nowhere and, like, be a potential top 10. but I wouldn't put him 10 yet.
I focus on people's potential.
Mhm.
That's just what I do.
Yeah.
That's just what I tend to do.
I think going based on potential, like, he absolutely could be there. Right now, I think it's between a whole bunch of people. If you put, like, gun to my head and asked me who's number 10 in the world right now, I would probably tell you blank.
Right,
but I think that's incredibly... I've thought about it a lot, just, like, because I make the rankings and enjoy thinking about it. And, like, it is crazy hard to pick after the top 9 in any semblance of an order right now because we just don't have enough information.
I mean, I picked Aiden just because Blank hasn't gone to any majors as far as I know, and then Aiden has had really consistent placings, and I kind of value that. I value consistency, and Hyperflame
Aiden's been doing well.
Hyperflame had that really bad performance where he got 25th or whatever when he lost to, who was it, GP or God Touch or somebody.
He's lost to both of those. He's had a string of bad performances.
Yeah, so I gave it to Aiden, personally.
I could see Aiden being on there. Like, right now, I have a list of people who could be there. And it's like, I think Blank could be there, Aiden could be there, Bacon Pancakes could be there.
I don't think Bacon Pancakes is. He's had, like, he got 17th at 2 majors. I don't
think he's been doing that well.
And, like,
yeah, Bacon Pancakes is...
He's lost to, I think, I don't know. He's lost to a few people.
I think Bacon is outdated. Like, I think he would have been there maybe 3 months ago. In like a gatekeeper role, but I don't think he is right now.
Yeah.
Stereo, maybe.
He got, what, 33rd or 49th or something at that one event?
He's the one who lost to God Touch.
At that one tournament?
Yeah,
Flex Zone, right?
That's why I picked Aiden. Everyone has this really stinker of a performance, and then Aiden just consistently got 4th, 5th at the stuff he went to.
The glowing image of consistency.
Yep.
Except he lost to me at the SQ Monthly.
Yeah. See that right there, like that I can't put someone at 10 when they lose to Flarp.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's not a thing.
Maybe Flarp is at 10.
Is that why Ron Gunshoe's not 10?
I can't morally do that. Yeah, that's why Ron Gunshoe's also not 10. It's unfortunate because I love Ron Gunshoe.
Well, he also got 49th at what was it?
We tech those.
Flex Zone.
I thought it was We Tech those.
We Tech those.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just know he lost to Resident and Flarp. So
hey. I thought Envy is kind of close to being...
Yeah, I think Envy's definitely on.
Envy's also on that list, in the same boat, where it's just like
Stinker lost.
Yeah.
Lost to GP and whatever.
Yeah, I feel like everyone below the top 9 has that Stinker loss.
Except Aiden at majors doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked him.
Yeah, I think that goes back to... I agree with you that right now Aiden is like a great pick because of that, but it also kind of goes back to what I was saying, where like, because we have such little data, all it takes is one loss to, like, make you look bad, because we have, like, nothing to judge these people off of. So,
yeah.
For anyone who's watching this and going, like, oh, rankings are so easy, like, why is PMRank so hard? This is why it's so hard.
This is why. You're watching it right now.
It is a hard job. And, like, it's harder right now because we don't have the kind of data that, like, I usually have in front of me when I make my PMRank ballot. But the data doesn't make it easy. Like, you still have to, like, weigh it and consider what's important. So, definitely hard, but it's always an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Just to kind of summarize the players that have been, like, mentioned to be 10th. So there's Blank, Hyperflame, Envy, Aiden, Ron Gunshoe, and I think those are most of the front runners.
I think that's about it, right?
Yeah,
I can also see if Flip returns to form.
Oh yeah, of course.
He could go beyond 10th.
Yeah, there are a couple of really big question marks on my list. The main ones are Flip, who he destroyed Kais at Smash and Grabs. Like,
I was watching
it was 2 stock, 3 stock, 3 stock. So like, we know that he could be good. We know that he can perform at a top 5 level. He says that his hand is good enough to let him play again, and after having seen him, I believe it. So like, I would not at all be surprised if he's in that top 6 tier or like higher. Laud and Emu Killer are also really big question marks. Laud did not have a great performance this weekend, losing to Kais in winners, and I don't know who in losers.
It was South in losers.
South, yeah.
I mean, that's not that bad, really.
Yeah, he got 9th, which is solid. Losing to Kais, who got 5th, and actually he had lost to 2 people who got 5th. But South has historically, it's not a good matchup for Peach. South is now 3-0 on him, because he double eliminated him from Smash and Splash 3. Kais, no, he's a good move. Vanguard. But like, we know that he's consistent. We know that he's a good player. But I would like to see more data before I judge him.
Yep.
And then Emu Killer, like, just hasn't been to anything. He's just one of those players that, like, we know he's good. So I would like to see those people step up. I also have a few other people. I mean, I have a number of people here who I'm like, could do better. We just don't know. But I think we've more or less gone through the list of people who are at the top echelon right now.
Yeah.
If we were to try and do a summer ranking, which I'm not even going to attempt.
Yeah. This is kind of where I gave up on
There's a couple people
order.
I just don't have enough data on.
Yeah, everyone after this is just like in tiers.
Kinda,
Yeah.
It's like, so you got like Twisty and Quaff and Stereo Kid, who are like, and Ivane, all those guys who are also who are really good, but aren't maybe like one tiny little level below.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and people, I mean, I have people on here who like, I know that they're good. I've just yet to see it from them this year, and that's always hard because it's only been 6 months since 2018 or 2017 ended. And like, I remember all those results. I remember them being great players, and I know that they are. But that doesn't mean that they've demonstrated that in 2018. And Boiling Man, I think, is a really good example of that. Where like, and there's also probably some NorCal bias here, but like, I know that Boiling Man is an amazing player. I believe that he has the potential to be top 15, top 10. I think that he's fantastic. But he hasn't, but he hasn't proven that at all this year. What's up?
So no disrespect to Parker. I've been saying for a while, I think he's been a little overrated by the community at large. It's not that I don't think Boring Man's really good, but I always thought he was a little bit high. So his slump is a little surprising, but also a little not for me. I don't know. I definitely think he can do a lot better than losing to Arsenals.
No, I mean, he's been very clearly underperforming recently. I get like there were people in the PMRank server, I'm not going to name names, who was like, oh yeah, I think he should be 9th. And I was like, I think you're on crack.
Yeah.
9th?
He was 9th on a ballot. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I actually saw that because I knew someone in the PMRank team.
Note to self, removing titanium from next year. But like, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, but so like I get that, and like, it's always hard with people like Boiling Man because we don't have very much national data. There've now been both editions of PMRank. I've spent a great deal of time arguing about whether he should be ranked at all because it's very difficult to rank someone with very little data, as you've all just found out. It sucks, and you feel like you can't do an accurate job of depicting that player's skill because you don't have enough information. And that's what it's felt like the last 2 years. So he's been one of the more controversial players every year because of that. This year, I think he'll probably be lower than he has been because he's had some very disappointing results. What you think his potential is a personal opinion. Like, I think for every player, whether you think they like have the potential to be better than they are or not is going to be personal, but we'll see where they end up at the end of the year. Like, that's kind of the end game, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think he has to really like do a big performance at Bigger Bell.
Yeah, I mean, he needs
get back to where he was.
He's been slumping recently locally, and like I know he's been in a bit of a character crisis, which is not news to anyone.
Usual. Yeah, it's the usual.
But I would like to see him doing well. He puts in a lot of work. He cares a lot about the game. And I think it sucks because like he's someone who's always been good. Like I think it's weird to him like that he's not doing well right now. So I would like to see that change, but we'll see what happens.
Speaking of someone who's a little disappointed, I know JJK is kind of feeling a bit of the burn from Run Gunshu kind of blazing a trail past him in the last 6 months. But yeah.
He also deserves recognition though, JJK, for like really stepping up nationally recently.
Yeah, so, I think
he's been doing well.
Like he's definitely been in Brad's shadow, which like I'm sure it sucks because if he were from any other region, he'd be their hero right now. Like the kid's been doing amazing. He's just also from the same region as Ron Gunshu, who like came out of nowhere and is now a top 15 player. So, but like people are definitely noticing. People are seeing him, and like he's consistently putting up really impressive results. So hopefully he gets that kind of recognition.
I think it's hard too because he plays Game & Watch, and a lot of people are quick to dismiss Game & Watch players.
It's true.
Yeah, that probably also plays a role in it, honestly, but I hope not. You never like to see people getting hate for what character they play, unless they're Sonic Man.
Yeah, then that happens all the time.
That's completely fair.
Yeah, but that's fine. 1 second,
We're good people, I swear.
Are you people, though?
I've yet to see proof.
I've yet to see evidence to that, but like, I'll take you at your word.
Alright, fine. Speaking of Sonic players, J-Fist is probably up there too, in that same tier.
Oh yeah, but he would triple 3-stock everyone if he wasn't an Icons player.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting seeing people and being like, how much better would they be if they like were actually focused on PM right now? Because you're right, he's definitely been focusing on Icons a lot.
Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing though. Florida was all kind of saying, "Oh, we're gonna beat this person if he didn't," or sorry, J-Fist would beat this person if he wasn't playing Icons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, J-Fist is also...
He did tell me that he has a more motivation for PM after Smash and Splash, so...
Good, that's great to hear.
Hopefully for Balk, and he has a GoFundMe, by the way. We might link that in the description, I don't know. But if he gets funded for that and is able to go out, then I hope to see a motivated J-Fist.
Yeah, for sure.
His footstools are a scary thing.
Yeah.
Coming from experience.
Footstools are broken.
I died at literally 30.
I killed someone at 4 in pools. God. It was 4%.
You're the worst.
How do you go to sleep at night?
I killed someone I killed someone at 2 last night. I hit him with a Falco. He hit me off stage and he was holding the ledge and I razor leafed him. And when they get hit by the razor leaf, you can snap the ledge, drop off, footstool. Killed him at 2.
Wow.
Sick.
Basically Rascal footstooled him with his Ivysaur.
Yeah. My character's broken, if you guys don't know.
He has 4 arms. No, 6 when you count the vines.
Yes. I mean, they aren't arms, but sure, technically.
Stubs.
I just feel bad for that Falco player. That's a dying breed, and you're just killing them.
Oh no, I have a very well-established hatred of the Falco matchup. If you play Falco against me, I will do everything in my power to make your life hell until you switch. Like,
love to see you play Silver.
I don't want to.
He has no remorse.
Oh, I've heard from Ivies who went to Blacklisted, and we tech those. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like Falco. I don't like Falcon. I don't like Wolf. If you play those characters and I kill you in janky ways, we take those.
Yeah, it sounds like me with Tank.
No remorse.
I hate those matchups too.
Yeah, it's just I don't. This is not at all the place for this conversation, but that's fine.
Yeah,
no.
Happen.
Screw Falco. What makes it worse is I can at least complain about Wolf because people get that Wolf is broken.
Yeah.
If I complain about Falco, I get 10 people telling me that Falco isn't that good in this game.
Why don't you just back throw him?
Yeah, with my frame 14 grab.
I mean, some characters can do that.
Just grab him fast?
That's how I feel.
Others aren't as privileged.
Yeah. Some of them cry.
Others aren't Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
So.
Luigi Falco's kind of lame, too.
Trash. I'm not even going to get into that.
Yeah.
I used to main Falco, so...
Back to rankings.
Yeah, do we have anything else to...
I was having fun complaining, man.
I greatly enjoy complaining about Falco, but...
We got a few more players to cover.
Well, the quick mentions, you got Dirt Boy, who 3-0'd Switch, I think.
Yep.
It was 3-0, right?
Wild.
Yeah, no, it was 3-0.
Yeah, he did that Push More Buttons. Silver, the Falco of consistency.
Yeah, Silver and Dirt Boy are both very good.
The most consistent Massachusetts player.
I don't know. Dirt Boy did do that, but I don't have him very high because of all his national results recently kind of taking a hit. He got 17th at Frozen Phoenix, which is...
He lost to XYK, right?
I think so. He lost to Yono, I know, in Losers.
He lost to Brad in Winners, which I don't exactly hold against him.
No, yeah, but he got... Yeah, I mean, there was obviously extraneous... Is that even the right word? Anyway, there was some circumstances at that tournament that caused him to burn out and get 17th, but he also got 17th at, I think, something else. I can't remember if it was Flex Zone or not. And then he got 25th at something, I believe. So his national results have not been up to snuff for what I expect of Dirt Boy, so that also just might be it.
Yeah, he's someone who's been very consistently like a top 20 level player, and I think he's probably still in that realm. But he's not one of those people I'm like, oh, he could be 10. Like, we know what he can do. He recently throwed switched. Like, he's a good player. But he's not super consistent, and his results aren't at the peak where I'd go, oh yeah, like he's on that next level. He's
probably still 22.
He's somewhere in that realm, honestly, if I were to do a ranking right now. But
you got like Bacon Pancakes, who you hear that name, you're like, oh yeah, he's really good, but then you're like, but what did he actually do this year?
Yeah, he hasn't done that much this year.
It's nothing
right?
stellar. No. It's the status quo of what a top player is supposed to do.
Yeah,
he did beat
consistently like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's just very consistent.
He did beat Hyperflame, which is his best win this year.
Yeah, which unfortunately, and this is weird to say, beating Hyperflame is like not that impressive at the moment.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think
it's
only
really
one of us
weird
has
to say.
Hyper on his list. No, Flarp does too, but I'm not ranking him just because I don't know what he's going to do.
I have him just because like
he has two very different tournaments.
3 very different tournaments.
Yeah.
I think the last person to mention is probably Drug Free Chew.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I'm still not sure what he did. I can't.
Except that he beat Kaisa Push More Buttons.
Well, he beat Kaisa Push More Buttons. Also, has had. This is where it gets iffy for me, because one of the problems with like having as many results memorized as I do is that it's very hard to differentiate the years. So I don't actually know what he's done in 2018. I know that he's done very impressive things in the past, but I don't know when those things happened. But he's someone who, generally speaking, has been improving really quickly in terms of like you compare 2016 to 2017 to 2018. And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think he's top 25, but wouldn't be at all be surprised if he's top 50 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just hurt a lot by Flex Zone right now, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
So And shoutouts to Flarp. He's doing pretty good. Yeah,
I'm on there.
Flarp's been doing okay.
I beat 18 guys in silver, and that's it.
Yeah, you could have beaten Flip.
Shut up.
For anyone who's watching this, I highly recommend you go look up Flip versus Flarp. By the way, that is so.
It was a good set.
That's so fun to say. By the way, Flip versus Flarp. That's so fun. At Smashing Grounds Revival. And just click to the last stock. It's painful, but also really
sad.
Funny.
It's so sad.
It would be sad if it wasn't a Luigi player. But like it is, and Luigi's win so much just based on their opponent like choking, and then they get like something. So I don't really have that much sympathy. But yeah, no, Flarp has been doing well. He's probably like top 30 or top 40 right now. Like, definitely doing well.
Thanks, Sabre. I thought I would be barely top 50.
Right now it's very hard to place people. I just kind of give broad ranges, and I'm like,
all right. Well, I thank you anyway.
You're on the rank.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely like put you on there right now.
Yeah, you're pretty good at the game.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Is there anyone we haven't covered?
Twisty?
We could talk about Ivane for a little bit.
Oh, I want to talk about
Ivane him already.
Did we talk about Twisty?
I mentioned him in like the last tiers that he's there.
Yeah, but I want to talk about him more because I'm biased. So Ivane has had a fantastic year. And so context for this is that I have been saying for like two solid years now that Ivane was going to be the next big thing. In like 2016, it was like a meme that Sosa called him the most underrated player in PM. And then at the end of the PMRank 2016 recap article, I was naming players to look out for, and I said Ivane was going to be really good in 2017. Ivane was terrible in 2017. I wrote again in the 2017 recap article, I think Ivan's going to do great this year. And now I'm right, because he went and he got second at Cashed Out, tore through NorCal. He went through Pikmon, Borgman, the Doctor, and then had the L set, which was I'm gonna go ahead and swear it was like the most bullshit 3-0 I've ever seen, where like it was one of those moments where like he should have won every single game and yet he got 3-0'd. and it was amazing. But like
the ending of the last game is insane.
Yeah, the ending of the last game, he literally won the game, and then just like killed himself first. But so there was that. He got second at the weekly before We Tech Those 3, running through people like South and Twisty and Dirtboy. He did well at We Tech Those itself. He also beat South at the weekly. He beat Hyperflame at We Tech Those. He's been doing really, really well recently. And so, he's probably still kind of a sleeper pick on a lot of people's radars because, he's only started doing well recently and it's only happened at a few events. But given that going to 3 major events and doing well is a lot of data for this far in the year, he's been really impressive. So I'm happy to see that because I'm finally right. Mine. Yeah, he's top 15-ish on mine. Top 15, top 20. Same here. It's hard to place him, but he's very clearly really good right now.
Man, imagine him versus Runkunchu. Oh, that'd be so sick.
Oh, that's heaven.
I want to see that. Actually, I don't know if I do. Cause he's
Switch. It'll be a Switch versus Brad, except Brad actually wins this time.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, maybe. But also, Ivan hits the gun.
The young boys.
I can't post to this because I don't know how to add graphics to the podcast. But there's a great little picture in NorCal Discord of Ivan talking to Switch, and he says the counterplay isn't to shoot less lasers; it's to shoot more lasers. And that's really his strategy, so he's a great player, but I don't know that I want to watch him play. If that makes sense.
I see that.
It's like XYK. I respect it. I like him as a person, but am I going to sit there and watch it? Not really. Shout out to Solpeck versus Ripple. That was a 40-minute set. The only double floaty set I've ever been that hyped for. Which is a joke that only 10 people watching this are going to get, and I don't think any of you. But yeah, so I think that's about it for the rankings. We've more or less gone through who the top 20, 25 players are. We have a solid top 9. Everything after that is kind of a gamble. We'll see.
A lot of strong people that we need to see more of.
Yeah, right now it's everyone's just looking for that one tournament where they get to distinguish themselves, because now
Bigger Bulk is going to be really big again this year.
Even bigger.
Definitely.
Even bigger.
All right, so I'm going to do one quick shout out just because Sabre's reminded me of it when he mentioned Solpeck and Ripple. Shoutouts to Jank playing on stream this past weekend, and everyone having so much fun despite all him doing is going from ledge to ledge throwing Waddle Dees.
That's Jank.
Yep.
He drove me to the Knave's house, and he's pretty cool. And he plays like a weenie, but it's
super
hilarious.
Weenie. He's a mega weenie.
Super Weenie Hut Jr.
I love the people where they play such weenies that it goes back around to being hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys? You guys have all seen, I'm sure, Sosa vs. Drug Free too.
I can't say I have.
You guys haven't seen that? So basically, what happened? I'm gonna find the clip at some point. Drug Free Chew counterpicked Sosa, went ices. Sosa hates ices.
Oh, yes, I see this.
Sosa asks him, "Can I switch to CSS?" And Drug Free Chew goes, "No, I want to counterpick you. I want to get my counterpick." And Sosa goes, "Well, I warned you." And timed him out on PS2, running away and ledge camping, just to prove the point. That's what you gotta do. It was great. I love when degenerate, really it's so degenerate that it gets hype. But yeah, so shout outs to Jank. I actually haven't seen that yet, but I kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah, it's quality.
One time I was playing against Zork, and every time I fireballed, the crowd aid for me. It was pretty great.
I'm gonna do that, SG, whenever you show up again. Okay, now.
All right.
Now it's time for everything, I think, right?
Yeah.
You got some
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of you probably already know this, but we know that a lot of people only know who I am via Nexus. So I, as the leader of Nexus and also the former leader of the PM Backroom and PMRank and all the other stuff I do, I've stepped down from leading all of those things and will be kind of leaving the community in any leadership role. I'll be handing off clips of the week. That will still continue. Echo, who's one of the other Nexus admin, will be taking that over. And I have various people who will be stepping in to fill the roles that I held. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do in terms of, like, do I still want to care about the community and, like, care about playing or, like, making combo videos or whatever, but everything I did with, like, the PMBR and PMRank and Nexus was not enjoyable for me in the end, so I moved on. But yeah, so I felt like that was something that you guys should know about, and then I was also asked to talk about why I'm doing that, and, like, more specifically, I've been pretty negative on social media about, like, the community being toxic, and, like, I've been asked to, like, address that and what I think can be done to fix it, because it's not productive if I just go, oh, this sucks, and I leave. Because I care about PM. I want it to be better. I want it to survive. So I would also kind of like to talk about that for a little bit. The main reason why I'm leaving is that the community itself was, for the most part, incredibly supportive. Despite, like, the way I'm leaving and the reasons for it, undeniably, like, I love this community. I love being a part of it. I love the people who have supported me for, like, years. But there's also a large portion of it that is incredibly, I don't want to call it malicious, but, like, very angry, like, at anyone who does just about anything.
Knee-jerky.
Yeah, it's very knee-jerky. It's very, I don't know the right word for it. It's like, it feels as if, it feels defensive almost, like you become the enemy. And so, I mean, you can see it. I think the easiest way to see it is, like, if you go and look at the comments on the, on any PMBR project, any, like, the tier list from 2017, either the PM ranks, the PM rule set, although I recognize that that's a different and more controversial issue. But it's also, like, there are a lot of people in this community who feel that it's perfectly okay to be hurtful. Like, if you go look at still the most viewed video on Nexus, which I spent over 6 months on, it was the tier list video. And there are 150 comments on that, most of them, like, personally attacking me. And after a while, like, that kind of became too much. But also, like, it just kind of became a lot because I was one of the only people who ran the PM community. And so I want to just kind of, we're wrapping up the podcast. This is presumably going to be my last podcast on Nexus. So I just kind of want to make really clear that PM is not dead or dying. But that will not always be the case if things don't change. Right now, we're losing community leaders at a really scary rate. Not just me, but, like, there are a lot of people who have kept the community alive through, like, a lot of time and effort who are leaving. And I'm not saying that to be scary. I'm saying that to make you realize that you all need to step up. Not, like, you collectively, but, like, if you're listening to this, like, I mean you personally. It doesn't have to be something like, you don't have to be me. You don't have to put in 30 or 40 hours a week. But the problem right now is that everyone in the PM community, with very few exceptions, falls into one of two mindsets. PM is dead and dying, and there's nothing I can do about it. Or PM is doing great, why should I bother? And that means that there's very few people who are doing work to support the community. And that makes it even harder on those people. So, like, when I leave, it's going to get harder for the people who are still here because there's one less person to pick up slack. And even if it's not something big, there's something that you can do. There's something that you can find that lets you contribute to the community. It could be advertising for a local. It could be figuring out a way to, you know, making Reddit results posts, which is something that, like, people haven't been doing since I stopped doing it. A lot of the stuff I did was just stuff that when I was a nobody, I was just like, oh, hey, people seem to want this. It takes, like, 5 minutes of my time, but, like, someone has to do it, and it takes the work off someone else. And if PM is going to survive, and I think it can not only survive, but thrive with Smash 5 coming out, that's a whole new audience for PM to appeal to, but it's only going to be appealing to them if the community is actually welcoming and not toxic. And I haven't been seeing that recently. And so I just wanted to say that, like, please consider what's going on, consider the state of the PM community, and the fact that it's amazing how far we've come. But we can do so much more if things change. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel.
All right.
Well said, Sabre.
Well said.
I try.
So
Yeah, so I don't know. Like that's all I got.
All right, I think that's all we got. Anything else you guys want to add?
I just want to reiterate that I did beat Wrong Gun Shoe.
All right. I think that means we're done.
Flarp is officially...
We're kicking Flarp off the podcast.
Okay.
He's done.
Yeah, he's no longer... Done. Wait, actually, 1 second.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
As an admin of Nexus, I have the power to switch people from voice chat channels, which means that I just removed Flarp from the podcast channel.
He's back.
He's back. He's back now, but I'm very much enjoying that I have the ability to do that. I've done that twice, actually. I don't think you guys noticed the first one. I'm greatly enjoying it. But yeah, so basically, like, TLDR, I might be around, I don't know. Obviously, the stats with Smash Splash, but I kind of just want to be left alone. Don't insult me. Don't insult other community leaders either. Like, there's a lot of them that feel this way. Don't just, like, turn around and act the same way to other people. Should be obvious. But yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, thank you, by the way. I'm well aware of what I just said was like pretty negative, as has been what I've said on social media. But like, seriously, this community is amazing. Like, appreciate what you have. Cause like, think about what PM is and the fact that it should never have gotten this far. And then the people who have made that happen. So, like, yeah, you guys have something really special. Don't fuck it up. Oh, I swear, I'm not great at the not swearing thing. It's fine. You guys had pooch on. I'm sure this is not the worst.
Yeah, we're used to this.
Yeah, so, but yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time, or hear ya. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
One of those things.
We don't see you. You'll see us.
See our
time.
Bubbly picture
icons,
sound waves, and whatever
wavy words.
Yeah, you'll see the waveforms.
Yeah,
it'll look pretty.
Will.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
All right.
Thank you.
Sweet.
See you, everyone.
Peace.